Intuitive Edge. So I'd like to take a look at our week ahead. I've laid out some cards and I want to take a look and see what we have. So for the questions, I've put down what will be happening in the news. What are we going to be seeing happening in our world? What is the challenge this week? What obstacle is there to face? What gives us hope? What is the truth of the matter at hand? The lesson to learn, and the outcome. So for the first card, I pulled up the Seven of Swords. This is on the question of what's going to be in the news, what's going to be talked about, what's going to be on people's minds in the news. And we have the Loss card. This is the Seven of Swords. This is a card about it's a caution card. It's to be careful. Now, the imagery on this card, I don't know how well you can see this, but the imagery in this card has a shark in the background. And sharks come around when there's blood in the water. It kind of made me think about being careful because the sharks might be circling the waters. There could be some real, I just sense a lot of tension possibly coming up in the news this week. The next card is the obstacle. What's the challenge this week? And we have the Eight of Pentacles. This is a nice card. With it being the obstacle, it's the card of achievement. And with that being the obstacle, it could be trying to achieve something perhaps related to what's going on in the news. Needing to achieve something, wanting to get something done, but having challenges with getting something done that's important to get done. The third one is what gives hope. And this is a card of reflection. It's a card of looking back, coming from a place of what makes you happy. In other words, what gives you hope? Reflect on what brings joy, happiness, and try not to be overly burdened with stuff in the news. Because a lot of times, especially if there's negative stuff in the news, if there's issues, like shootings or whatever in the news, those things really get people down and can suck energy. And it's important to maintain happiness and a sense of peace and calm in spite of what's going on in the world around. It's important to not lose focus. So reflection on what really brings happiness and joy. This card, what is true this week? What's the truth? So we have the card of ambition. This is the King of Swords. Now, I opened up the little booklet that came with this deck because I wanted to read that. Let me find it. So I thought this was interesting. The King of Swords says, the advice on this is to look to the facts before you make a decision. I think that's going to be interesting this week. There's probably going to be ample opportunity to not jump to conclusions until all the facts bear out. We may be seeing that in the news, that things are going to happen that look a certain way. And if people jump all over something only to find out later that it was not what they thought, then they're kind of left holding the bag, right? So I think there may be some of that this week. So it's best to try to be detached to what's going on. Watch from a place of distance so that it's not personal. Another thing, I want to read this. The meaning of this King of Swords for this deck, with this book. It says, this man represented by the king. And I'm wondering if this is representing the president, possibly. But either way, it says this man is clever and often strong leader in a professional career. He's a great strategist with charm and ambition, but can exert pressure too, as he is impatient to succeed. Impatient to succeed. He can be relied upon to offer calm, logical judgment. Okay. So this is a card about mental agility rather than emotion. So not getting swept up into the emotion of the moment, but being a little bit cool and detached. The lesson for this week, the lesson that we're here to learn, guess which card came up? The drama card. Drama card. That seems to be a theme in the last week or two. And this is a card about being careful not to get sucked in to other people's drama. Not to let yourself get bogged down. And to maintain your own sense of space and boundaries and inner calm and peace, regardless of what is happening in the world around you. The outcome card is a proposal. Now, it's the Knight of Cups. Now, when I kind of was sitting with this card a few moments ago, and I just kind of felt or saw, or it just seemed to me that there was going to be some type of announcement, possibly, with this card being a proposal. Made me think of that. I think from the White House or something regarding the president. It seemed like there was like an announcement from the White House lawn, perhaps a trip that President Trump will be taking, somewhere that he's going to go that's going to be important in some way. So be looking for that. This is just a guess, but it's something that kind of just stood out. So we'll see if that's something this week, or maybe that's just popping in for some reason. Maybe it's coming up. On the bottom of the deck, we have, for kind of the overall flavor for this week, we have the Order card. This is the Emperor. So the Emperor, the King of the Ocean, is the name of this card. King of the Ocean. Order. Bringing stability and order. This one says, it's time to get your work, finances, or home in order and take control to protect your assets. You have the power. This is a card of focus, protection, organization, authority, leadership, and having strong boundaries. So I think with this week, that's kind of the theme too, is balancing that order with this kind of loss energy of caution and people circling, and I think there's going to be some struggle, some stress. So keep a clean heart and a clear head, and don't let other people's stuff this week trigger you. Stay untriggered and keep a cool head. So I think that's it for this week. All right, we'll talk to you soon. This is Intuitive Edge. Bye for now.